top of people. But NaVi, Sven's still in the pool. That'll be their last pick, and the counter pick here in some senses to the Chaos Knight. Very momentum-based hero, but with stacking being super popular these days and teams getting really good at it, Sven has that easy way to farm up and ideally not just catch up, depending on laning stage obviously. Like Darkseer is not the best matchup here for the Sven. He will be quite annoyed by that, you would imagine here, especially if Team Spirit also commits more resources up top. And that'll depend on how much pressure General can put up in the bottom lane. So these dynamics will come into play.
5 seconds remaining.
Able to catch up or get ahead with all these ancient stacks and neutral stacks that they're gonna want to do anyway for General here to make sure that he can get a quick mech or blink dagger, whatever he wants to go for first. Probably gonna be the mech, considering. Yeah, with that they should be able to fight quite nicely with the mech and quickly maxed out Warcraft from the Sven to just help you up against the Chaos Knight in different ways other than just the cleave against the illusions. So basically the idea with the Sven is you just want to get on top of the CK and kill him before he gets a chance to do the same to you and your team. Which is a very on the nose approach. Let's see how it works. Oh yeah, actually.
Prepare for battle.
Title has changed, you can stop crying now. And it is indeed NaVi versus Team Spirit. We're starting on the dire side with a classic jungle invasion. Crystallize, yeah. He's not gonna get called out by that. It's been a while since I've seen teams being giving up first blood in this kind of a fashion. Just running into 5 because you think it's alright. Mostly the dire side will end up in this area. And the Radiant side will go secure the top 2 runes here. And looks like General, yeah, well, he'll end up in the offlane, he'll pull the creep wave. Team Spirit, they're rotating all the way around, plopping down the ward in mid. For returning, so they're not really rotating the supports up top just yet. Only the one hero that's DK4 is actually gonna dodge this Titan in the lane altogether. And gonna put the Darks here up against them, which should be absolutely fine too. We'll be able to get the CS, especially out of the safe lane, so you end up with this aggressive tri-lane. With Illidan, FNG potentially setting up, and Biver right now is blocking up mid for ILTW. But again, you do have this disruption into Burst Strike, into Illidan just walking up and just providing whatever he can, Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift and whatnot. For CK to be really annoying and really strong, obviously he does need a lot of his levels. But in the meantime, he should be able to farm, but they want kills. They want this first blood. They do have to follow up stun there from the Chaos Bolt. It'll be 1 second, but plenty of time for Bible to come in, and that'll be that. First blood secured by him, just
strikes the perfect note.
If he was the carry, I would say typical carry teamfight contribution, just swipe in for the last hit, but well, NaVi, they already made the reaction. The reaction play General, walking all the way down bottom, still holding onto the TP scroll. And just gonna go on him. Yeah. Up down, 2 seconds stand now by Illidan. Follow up right clicks, and now the disruption. Gives out a little bit more time. It's gonna have to be right clicks to finish him off though, and it's not gonna be enough with the Fairy Fire, barely keeping himself alive. But Anchor Smash here mitigating some of the damage. Yeah. Definitely a statement of intent here in this bottom lane. They don't want to leave, even with General coming back. And now, well, another stun after the mango. Follow-up is there. Bye-bye being body blocked slightly by FNG. Stacking up a few tower shots too. They will find General. We'll look at right-clicking down, but he's level 2 already. Kraken Shell will make that impossible for Bive alone. Roger actually making the rotation, and well, this tanking will pay the price, more than likely. Maybe not. Tower aggro being shifted here just in time. Roger not having more slows available. He's able to juke his way on out. Very close call though. Now, without the Shadow Demon,
I'll take
you're lacking quite a bit of power. And you end up with a bit of a 1v1 matchup right now, with Senking also being forced to rotate out. He's also getting the bounty runes. So that was his main goal there. That does leave us with the Sven up against the Darkseer. I was talking about in the draft how that's not the best matchup either. So NaVi just trying to make the best out of a bad situation out of the lanes here. The only one that will always go in your favor is the Viper, unless you go for some sort of heavy rotations like this here. Nightmare. Disruption into Arrow. LTW didn't quite get the right position. So Dandy will be just fine. Without that, he might have been right-click down afterwards, though. With the level 1 Starstorm. Stun down bottom. Viper's there for the follow-up. He is also not taking tower shots. Another Anchor Smash level 2 at this point. Like, you do very little damage. This is Techie's level of base damage right now that Elizabeth is doing. And another Burst Strike though, FNG also coming in eventually. Will still be enough. General. He is tanky, but not that tanky to just walk all the way from the opposing tier 1 to his own. Alright. So this bottom lane, a lot of effort here committed for Team Spirit, but they're still making it work. Titan though, level 3 and 3 3/4. Still getting that. A little bit ahead of the Chaos Knight right now. And FNG and Viper looking for something else. Roger, just before nighttime, he's the one who's gonna get ganked. Disruption into Burst Strike, into a couple of right clicks. Middle mid though, there's a Shackles into LTW. 1 leap, 2 leap, that'll get him away. And well, Night Stalker proved to be tanky enough to just be able to TP out under both of these heroes' eyes. General, yeah, he wants the bounty rune. Doesn't get it though. Nice Burst Strike to secure that.
Radiant are scanning.
A lot of action, a lot of rotations here. NaVi starting to try and match it here with the Shadow Shaman. Hasn't spent a lot of time down bottom. Obviously, you want to try and secure Crystallizer's farm as much as you can, and so far it's been successful. 19-1 to the still 20-4 from DK Phobos. So this guy is level 5.5. And going straight for the Arcane Boots into the mechanism. So all he has is Soul Link back in the snatch. Well, stick charges here, so he's gonna get gone on. Start off with a stun, follow up with Shackles. Roger says, well, right, it is nighttime. So he wants to be making these rotations to try and help out. But he's only level 2, so he wasn't even the biggest part of that gank in the first place. At the same time, down bottom. Another Disruption. General. Well, eventually he'll be killed, you would imagine. If they had a vision here, they just throw them on the stun. Elden will secure it with that. And FNG gets a Titan solution to work with for like 5 seconds. Hooray. It's not the biggest of deals. It's a neat little change with the Soul Catcher, and actually interesting to see him go for this build in the first place. I mean, we see a lot of Shadow Demons these days go for the Shadow Poison build. But with the way he's roaming around, obviously, you'd rather have the Disruption to Soul Catcher here, working together with the rest of the team, either Nomrana or the Sand King and the CK. Like, you're not just sitting in lane and spamming down Shadow Poison onto somebody. The arrow will be tanked up by Creep. And, well, that was a little bit overzealous. Top lane gonna go again onto DK Phobos. Soneko can't quite get in range for the Shackles just yet, though, until it's right under the tower. TP in, coming through. Vacuum comes out, but it's not gonna be enough. Soneko gets the last step of damage out, but, well, can't quite fly it across the tree line. Night Stalker will fall in return. It's gonna be nice here for Team Spirit. And gold is shared. But Crystallize didn't get the kill. It was the support Soneko. Speaking of Crystallize here, seeing Chaos Knight up against him. Speaking of Soneko too, like, he's being bottom blocked by FNG, dragged back by Litten, trying to deny himself to creeps. But they are asleep. Woke up a little bit too late to make that happen. So he's just straight up going to die. Big commitment, LTW also making rotation in case it was needed. They can shrine up together here if they want, and exactly what they're gonna do. Then you're obviously still doing extremely well. 37 and 14 to the 20 into LTW. Couldn't really make too much headway. It's also level 5 to the level almost 7 on Viper. Just the nature of the hero. A lot of time spent by these supports in these lanes. Trying to stabilize them instead and just try and deal with the Viper on his terms, which is not impossible by any means, especially here if you have a DK forward. Despite that death, he's still doing quite well for himself as far as Darkseers are concerned. He's now matching this rotation with Crystallize, just continuing to be a nuisance. But I'm looking at this mid lane, looking at this Night Stalker, still only level 3, and first nighttime is about to end, which is not exactly the best. Only 1 assist under his belt. And might not get anything else here. Biver, without detection, you can't get him either inside that Sandstorm, so... Well, at least he's always going to take to the Corrosive Haze. Not Corrosive Skin. Corrosive Haze is something different.
Radiant are scanning.
So overall, teams were not with the worst starts of momentum. NaVi, though, they're farming quite efficiently. Crystallize has not really been slowed down despite the Starkseer pressure, sitting at 43 last hits. And the big one is the Viper here. Once he starts to roam around, maybe he even goes back for the Veil build. Right now hasn't decided quite yet, I believe.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Like you can throw out a lot of damage in the mid game. You can't take it over completely, especially if you also have a Sven who has max cleave. And you can set up for that. You can be the aggressor. There's a lot of attention from Team Spirit away from the Sven, so you can start farming up these jungle camps. No, there's one big ancient stack here. I think that's a triple. So that'll be extremely helpful. But Team Spirit don't want to try and build the momentum even further. Looking for Roger inside the jungle, inside these trees. They will find him. TP coming through though from the Viper. Denny wants to be a part of this, gets banished up. Roger will fall now. Try and transfer over. Another TP coming through though from Seneko. They've already lost the Shadow Demon and now also going to lose a Darkseer. More than likely a Dende. Already threw out that Viper Strike, so now has to rely on his right clicks. DK forwards, well, eventually should be called, and there it is. Double kill for him. And that's not exactly worth it. Like, you kill level 4 Night Stalker, you lose 2 heroes. One of them is your solo laner. That's exactly the kind of rotations that I was thinking about just a moment ago. Just Dendy starting to be active and starting to leverage the strength of the Viper. Max corrosive skin, so he's not really easily killable right now. Almost maxed out poison attack, so damage output is also quite nice, just based on that. General though, well, he's still a bit of a punchy mech. Doesn't have the Ravage to work with, but no real teammates helping him out. He was thinking about it. Probably for the best that DK was interrupted that with the vacuum. Would not have ensured his survival. It was like a 3-hero commitment though, and LCW is still way behind. Look at him. Barely has Aquila completed. This was the one, but he's still working on Facebook. It's 10 minutes in. Look at his net worth, 2.6k, even Illidan. Despite all of the kills and assists that they've been able to get, he's not actually been farming a whole lot, so his net worth is still even less than that of the Tide Hunter, who they've been killing. Once you realize that, you gotta conclude, well, this aggressive try then, even with all of these score points under their belt, it's not really, it didn't really work out well. Didn't really get them as far as they imagined. Because these other 2 lanes they've been farming, they've been going ahead. So it's gonna be down to the Darkseer. He's basically the only one who's got a lot of farm right now. And he's continuing to do that. To take these jungle camps with the Iron Shell. So he will have a mech before long. Blink Dagger queued up afterwards. And if you can then leverage that into some sort of tower pushes, then that'll be alright. The thing is, I don't really think they have the lineup for that. Mechanism will be the only push sustain, and they don't have a lot of tower damage until Chaos Knight really gets off the ground. He's level 8, so it's not the worst. 3 points up reality after Chaos Bolt, value point into crit, and the one in Phantasm. But you can also use to try and help with tower pushes. If you get lucky, you get the extra illusion. But still looking for him to just farm up right now, get his armlet. He's very far away from that right now, by the looks of it.
The prize is mine.
Well, NaVi, especially with the new nighttime coming in, it is Roger's time to shine. LCW does have 2 more leap charges available. Roger can throw out the silence whenever he wants, but he's not getting any help. So that kill was never going to happen. At the same time, DK4 was also rotating around. Can't get in range for the vacuum. I don't think that would have hit. Roger gets away scot-free. Rabbit from bottom though. Okay, that's a sanking down. FMG also caught in the middle of that. I think they tried to go for Dendi alone between the two of them. Not sure it was going to be possible even without General rotating in. I mean, he's done a half health after the combo. Gross skin is a hell of a jock. He's also... He actually went for the attack speed over the spell lifesteal. Is that a thing? I guess he's going for the right-click build.
Thanks. I'm grateful to you.
Allies disappear.
I don't actually know how much of an impact that kind of stuff has, because I don't use it myself, but a lot of people do. So I do apologize about that. Good slice coming through, and will be brought down very quickly here with almost the entire team spirit coming in. Now the rest, Burrow Strike across on the 2 heroes. Dendi doesn't really want to stick around. The rest of the team already dying. Throws out the Viper Strike, trying to keep Viper away. General also threatening, but without the Ravage. They don't really care about him. They surge forward, another Burrow Strike, and start to right-click him down into the arrow, yeah?
With the fishes.
Casual chain feed here, just running them down one by one into the jungle. Exactly what I expected, but yeah, this is what you can do. This is still the weakness of the Titan for offlane. Sure, you can win the lane, you can do quite well there, but without that Ravage, you aren't really all that threatening. You don't have a lot of damage output. Now, well, the Burst Strike will miss. Viper very low on health, but there's nothing they can really do to punish that. Still plenty of team spirit here. Nice little stun though from Crystallize, time to cleave away, but now the epicenter, they turn the wrist around, stick charges into another Burst Strike. They really even have to stop here. Ilden comes through with the Phantasm, now Dragpack and Crystallize out of armor here right now, but the Shackles will keep Ilden safe. Dendi in the middle of that gets stunned up as Ilden falls. The walls as well. DK Phobos, ILTW trying to do what they can. This time, well, they're out of juice themselves. No more mana to work with to finish up either Dendi or Senego. So Team Spirit thought that they could turn this around. But apparently, didn't quite have enough power. Well, technically, guys, this is a talk show. I am talking here. And this is a show. So... oh, well. At least I don't have the wrong overlay on. That would be even more embarrassing. General down bottom, Viper. Gonna come in, they start off with a slow from FMG. Try to hold on to the burst strike as long as possible here after the initial purge came through from the Kraken Show. Good that end up stunning and not getting any stun duration off of it, but... Well, 5 heroes down here. No rotations here. He could have gotten a Ravage off potentially. And a pretty good one at that, but... none of his teammates decided it was worth it, so he just takes it in the chin as he did the entire game. Poor guy, 0-5 and 3. So far, I'm not having the best of times.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Team Spirit continue to try and keep the momentum up, but is it really working? I mean, Illidan still not farming particularly well. Ideally, you'd have the armlet like 5 minutes ago.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But all of his kill participation, it's not really paying off just yet. As we compare that to Dendi, 6 kills, no deaths. That's more like it, right? He's also been farming next to these kills all the freaking time. So he's sitting at 7k net worth. Crystallize not too far away. I was talking about him having that farm potential with the cleave and a couple of stacks that they've been able to get. Now he has the Masked Madness as well as the Echo Sabers, who's going to be hitting very, very fast. And level 2 God Strength will also ensure that he's going to hit very hard at least some of the time. Blink Dagger queued up next. That's what they're looking towards. Yeah, probably in the general as well eventually. Right now he wants a Pipe of Insight. Up against all this magic damage that Team Spirit has. So Iron Shell is quite annoying. It's mostly against the Epicenter, you would imagine. Trying to keep his team safe against that.
Radiant's middle tower.
Because Illidan, as far behind as he is, he's not going to be able to provide a crazy amount of physical damage just yet. So it's mostly what teams would have is mostly the magical damage. So if you can mitigate that, then should really die on NaVi. Now Moon Shadow, they see Bioware get the surge off before the silence though. So they'll be fine unless they stick around. Bioware just got the Blink Dagger, force the revealer getting out. But having that available still before the pipe, that's still very effective. If they manage to catch somebody off guard without the help of the rest of the team, they can still burst them down more or less easily here. We've seen it up against General. He's one of the tankiest heroes on NaVi right now. Then they might give him a run for his money with the corrosive skin. But yeah, neither of them are really easy kills. So they have to commit like almost 5 heroes almost every single time.
The prize is mine.
Help with the farming. No Midas or anything either on CK, so that's something that you see them pick up sometimes. See if they're just AFK farming in the safe lane to just make sure that they can maintain that speed. Because CK not exactly very fast at it, right? You don't have any AoE. You rely on the good old right clicks. Oh, that was an invis rune. Don't really want to try and do anything with that FNG though. Oh, disruption into no arrow, LTW. Scared they did hit a creep there, but look at it now. General, look at him. Rest of his team backing him up. He's very happy just threatening that Ravage. Smoke wrap around. I like this too. Team Spirit. Try and pick up somebody in the jungle, but NaVi not gonna oblige. All sitting there except for Crystallize, and this is a big kill. And they realize it too, and trying to TP out, not gonna get it. Piper getting in range, and this is a dead Sven. Eventually. Pops a Godstring, not sure about this one. Oh, he just wants to farm a couple of extra creeps. Alright, alright.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Does the illusion also have the extra strength? Should, right?
Dire's middle tower.
You get an illusion from Godstring? I'm not sure how that exactly works with the Shadow Unit. Speaking of illusions, so the Phantasm ones were taken care of here as I brought down a tier 1 tower, even committing the Shadow Shaman was for it. So now, okay, gonna run into each other. Roger up to the high ground here at daytime, down to half elves. Iron Shells continue to tick away. Vacuum keeps the neck away. ILTW coming in for the extra bit of damage, but the rest of NaVi coming through to get the shackles up. Epicenter being channeled up to turn this around. Triple burst strike here. Vacuum but no wall. The Ravage, the wall but no vacuum. The Ravage comes out to turn it. Dandy still in the middle of that, and well, where's the damage? It's not there. Dandy left to zone devices, and it's exactly what I said earlier. One of these Ravages where you'd rather have held on to it because it didn't really do anything. It looked great. But the burst strike beforehand set up for all of that. A lot better here for Team Spirit. They were the ones who came out well ahead. Roger, alright. They want blood. They want revenge. Team Spirit for pretty much the first time this game they actually got themselves. Well, you can discount that in the early parts. Alright, that was the Blink Dagger. He got deaded, I think it's the technical term.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's still the issue that I see for Team Spirit, despite everything. And, well, the bit of a gold lead that they had all but evaporated because of that as well. They gotta continue Blink forward. Nice little burst strike, but FG delays a little bit further with Disruption, but General is ready. If you want to get the kill. So Neko was also aiming for it. But it's just from NaVi working out. They got farm on the cores, and that's all they really need. They also got levels on the offline and supports. Roger hasn't even had that much impact this game. Still only 3 assists on a Night Stalker, but doesn't really seem to matter because the lanes worked out quite well. Again, even the bottom lane with General being picked off time and time again. He's got his Ravage, he's still got his Pipe. He has still maintains more than that with the Chaos Knight. And this is what it comes back to for me time and time again. Which last hits does he have now? 80, yeah. 80 last hits, 191 crystallized, even 130 on Dandy. well, gets a lot of kills. A couple of deaths here, and if you're not spending the time in between the spam and creep camps, it's not really working out. And the Chaos Knight that's not scary in a game is, well, exactly that. Not scary for NaVi. And it's not exactly game winning either for Team Spirit. We'll see what they can do though. Blink Burst Strike is still working well with these rotations, right? They're continuing to find these kind of heroes. Roger, luckily for him, it is nighttime, so he's able to utilize that flying ability. Oh, Illidan pops the Phantom and gets an extra illusion to work with now. Blink Burst Strike and okay. Roger, sticking around a little bit too long here. Biber committing deeper for the kill. They finish up tier 1. And they're gonna look for the tier 2 now, perhaps as well. As I say that though, never mind. They want Roshan, they want Aegis in their hands.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, trade-off will be down bottom. Snako winning the Serpent Wards, because it's the only real push that they have between the two of them. Well, at the tier 1 tower, they have the Ravage, and looks like they actually want to contest. God Strength available too. So easy. Oh, they actually have the Blink Dagger General too, so yeah, this is the perfect opportunity. FNG doing a good job though, just canceling that Blink. Blink Dagger, Blink from Bible as well. They bring down Roche, Crystallize, they gets a double stun here. And, well, Chaos Knight will have to pop it immediately out to W. Not in fighting shape. NaVi in the middle of a pit. It did lose Snako here, but it was the entire team's Spirit that can work. Nice little Burst Strike with General. Purges off the stun, gets a Ravage off, and this time, Sven, right in the middle of that, gets stunned up by an arrow or something, but now, back into the fray. Stun up on Darkseer. Just leaves Illidan for General to finish off. He's on his way out. And, well, he requires some extra health. Crystallize with another Blink available. And there it is. They see him. Burst Strike keeping him safe one more time, though. And another banishment. They're trying to prevent a stab on Illidan as best they can. Murata, well, he doesn't have the same protection. And he's cutting up to the north. Instead, they'll settle for FNG. Is still hunting. Does he have a TP scroll? That's the next question. Yes, he does. Alright. FNG giving his life for his carry, and Illidan making a great escape. But make no mistake, that was still a disaster for Team Spirit. Still lost the Aegis, they lost IL2W, who's, well, don't want to say didn't have an impact, because he's 5-1-6, he's got his mental style, like, but it doesn't feel like enough. Because of the position that they're in as a team in this game right now. NaVi. Well, we can't get the Aegis themselves. But just a little bit quicker, and if it wasn't for the plays from Team Spirit, like FNG was spamming Shadow Poison up on the high ground, so that was always going to prevent the Blink in from Tidehunter. So they had to come in a little bit slower, but committing like 3 heroes up there was not just FNG, it was also Fiverr blinking in. And now, well, blinking in again, yeah, Epicenter coming through in the back. No Burst Strike, not enough mana for it until pops a Stick Charge. They'll still find Snake as well as Crystallize with the entire team there, and Dandy next on the list. Straight up power overwhelming here for Team Spirit. NaVi not ready to react. Again, Team Spirit exploit their one weakness that they have without the Ravage. They don't want to fight, so don't group up. Team Spirit barreling down middle lane. They also have the Catapult, they have the Phantasm, plus the Disruption Illusions. There's quite a few CKs here wailing away at the tower. Back up in 10, but you don't actually have either Dandy or Sven, so can they stop this? I don't think they can, actually. And, well, they had the plan in general, trying to slow them down. Snake's there, has the wards. Tends to bring down Illidan, but forced stuff out of it. Nice little Burst Strike as well. Into the immediate blink out. So Team Spirit, she's turning around. Snako slowed down General. Again, no Ravage, so no reason to stop. Snako will fall immediately. Roger brought down again. 4-second stun just to have the icing on the cake. And I do not agree with that Ravage. You need to wait for Sven, or at least then need to come in. Without that, you just don't have damage. So, well, NaVi at the very least the Rex alive, so can't really fault them too much, I guess. But yeah. Maybe I've been discounting Team Spirit's plans a little bit too much. I've been harping on about Chaos Knight not being super scary. He doesn't really have the ability to one-shot too many people. But he still have the extra illusions from the Shadow Demon. So you can still get lucky with the extra illusion. Phantasm is still having an impact, especially if you can find the initiation, right? Find the quick kill. And if you can play around the Ravage. Because NaVi, they're relying on that. As well as Seneko even to get in and provide that extra bit of control. Together with Crystallize to have the God Strength available and be ready at the right time. If NaVi don't get that proper chain of events going their way, then actually remarkably fragile as well as lacking that damage output. We saw it just then in that mid push. So it doesn't really matter that Chaos Knight isn't as strong individually, because the team as a whole can still get these kills rather quickly if they work together. We'll set that now on Biver. After the blink falls off, he's actually pretty farmed for support. The lowest one in our Team Spirit is FNG, who's working for the on the Aghanim Scepter. So it does turn Demonic Purge into charges top lane. Alright. Cool Biver. Just as I talked about him having a lot of farm, he gets picked up. But now it's NaVi's turn again. They have another Ravage. Try to pressure racks of their own. He comes down bottom though. Well, Illusion. Pops the Phantasm, doesn't get the extra illusion. It's gonna leave them down here. Top lane. Alright, after he just gets annihilated. NaVi blinking in. Gonna get those racks very quickly indeed. A vacuum. Waldo trying to turn us around. They instantly get the sniper on Seneko, but he can both search away before he gets silenced up. Crystallize will finish the racks, and now we'll try and either focus on all heroes or get themselves out, because I don't think it's worth staying around for the ranged racks. The Wolves will take care of that just fine. We were mid though. Well, that was the job of Phantom Illusions. Trade 1 for 1. NaVi, they want more. Out of vision here. It is nighttime, so they have a bit of an advantage with Roger. Wasn't on the front lines though, so it didn't actually provide anything. But they have the ward there anyway. Also like how it's further back, because normally you just plop a sentry down here in the front. And that kind of standard sentry will not de-ward that. Don't believe that they have a gem either on side Team Spirit. Surely eventually Chaos Knight will catch up. Looks like he's going for the Talbot. Pretty useful, considering that you have a Sven on the other team, and even Dandy, he went for the strike click build. And plus 20 attack speed. Attack range is not quite that important. So you'd rather have the corrosive skin stats. Afterwards, well, you don't need the poison attack. Effects building is kind of a garbage talent, so you're still gonna go for Viper Spike DPS. Plus 120 damage. It's very nice to have at level 25 indeed. So you can be that secondary DPS that NaVi now. Good. Initiated on here with the hacks, but turn around on Chaos Knight doesn't have the Phantom, there's a Ravage on Diablo out to everybody. Crystallized right on top. Chopping down the CK. A glimpse of Horseman FNG slowing down Crystallize here with his ultimate. Backing down a little bit by Dandy. Not slowed at all, so FNG will fall up to W, trying to continue to see what he can get. Nice little dodge there actually, and a Stormhammer. Good map style, but Team Spirit still loves 2 heroes. Not quite ready there, and these are the kind of initiations that NaVi are looking for. Forward with the Hex, with the Blink Ravage, and so might want to think about getting some BKBs here in the start of Team Spirit. Darkseer has it queued up right now. Middle lane, Biver, alright. He's just trying to keep the lane pushed out as far as he could, but didn't quite back off in time. But yeah, BKB in the works on Darkseer. Probably the most important one. If he doesn't get stunned up by the Ravage, and then he can get the vacuum wall off. And at this point, I mean, the stronger Sven gets, the stronger Viper gets, importantly here, the stronger wall illusions become to help you out, and even the odds to some extent. LTW has some only completed. Might want to get a BKB herself now. So funny how it can do that. Just blink out of hand, but obviously it doesn't do damage. This game, in terms of net worth, it's been remarkably even. Especially with the last series of events, we have been able to equalize it almost straight away here after that. After the big of a boost for Team Spirit. Didn't really last long at all. We're slowly but surely heading towards that late game. Sven is getting bigger and bigger. 16k net worth on him now. He has his own BKB showing off in that last fight. That makes it very hard for Team Spirit indeed to try and control him up even. They still have this demonic purge, and they will have a couple of extra charges on that eventually. FNG, not exactly known to be best farmer either, and doesn't have any sort of GPM talent. So it's gonna be a while until he actually finishes off that Iron Scepter. Until then, he's just gonna have to hold on to the demonic surge or purge for Sven in his BKB form. You know, trying to make sure to kite him around as long as he can. But that won't really help you against an initial jump. The initial burst of one of these heroes. And if that is FNG, well, can't really cast Demonic Purge from the grave. 5-minute smoke. Not been spotted out here. Illidan showing himself. But you really need to also get a beat on the other heroes. This Piper, well, let's see him with the wall. Gotta go on instead. Much easier target. Oh, FNG is trying to show himself, yeah. That's one issue. We'll have to look towards Vacuum Wall here, but, well. It's FNG actually, yeah. And he meant to make his way out with 1 Shadow 2, so NaVi actually botched up the initiation. Now they can start to turn things around. No more BKB. Crystallize, slow down. There's a Ravage though. They haven't expanded that just yet. Crystallize with another blink in, but stunned up. No one's dead just yet. Even LCW surviving in the side there. And another BKB used. This time on Denny. He's trying to run down anybody, but there's a lot of spells used, and no one's really died just yet either. Walking forward, another burst strike, push off immediately, General. 4 seconds stun though, and yeah, he's left for dead by the rest of his team. It's very confused. I was ready to shout out kills and seeing a team fight snowball in one way or another, but now it might actually very well in favor of Team Spirit Crystallize. What was that? Just sticking around on mid while the rest of his team was continuing to retreat. That was just greedy. Nothing more to say there, but yeah. As a result, this Roshan will actually go in favor of Team Spirit. This was the reason why NaVi went for the smoke. Well, they really wanted to make a team fight happen. But the target fire just wasn't there. After Ravage, right? LCW dropped super low, but Crystallize went on the other direction, got stunned up again. Team Spirit just kite. Oh. Bit of a lag spike. Hopefully it'll stabilize in a second. But yeah, we're right back. The kiting around Sven so very well. Especially here, since they've been able to kite out that BKB initially. I was questioning here this vacuum wall, but FNG able to extricate himself that time. Still staying alive here for the Demonic Purge. Extra spells and also shout out to Biver, finding these burrow strikes here with the BKB on cooldown. Well, it's gonna be his job this game. Just slowing down Sven, keeping them guessing, kiting aroundwards, then trying to find ways to poke in, get some kills himself. Because Team Spirit realize without these big jumps, without Crystallize being able to dish out the damage, Team Spirit's actually in a good spot. The smoke will be broken immediately by Raja, who has an Act Gem. So you have the vision advantage. Moonlit Shadow will not really do too much against them. It's one of these situations where you still go back for that build. It's not always necessary on Night Stalkers, but up against the Mirana, against his invis potential, you really want that. So Nighttime's still lasting for 4 minutes. It's just a fresh one. By the time it ends, you'll have enough darkness available again to extend it.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Smoke up from NaVi this time around. He's spotted out too though.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Shrine goes down. Can they find something? Yeah. Team Spirit is they're a little bit split up. FNG is showing himself, maybe baiting out a little bit for now. DKFO didn't quite get the memo. Is he brought down Surge? Not gonna be enough. At the same time, the Hex and Chaos Knight. That's a much bigger kill even. Crystallize will still take a while to burst through him, get stunned up, but well, then no BKB or anything. We'll lose the Aegis immediately. And we'll lose the second life too, instant hex. And Russell's team not coming in. If he had a BKB there, maybe they can make the call. Alright, buy back on Darkseer.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
TP to Shrine or tier 2 and try and fight this as it stands. They just lost the huge advantage here that they gained off that series of events before the Roshan. Still have the cheese, that's on LTW. NaVi barreling down at this bottom lane. They haven't even had to use a Ravage. The big threat is still available. Crystallize, well, just trying to burst down. FNG is still alive, and the buybacks from both of its heroes now have finally come out. DKFO with the mid, with the Achievements trying to slow people down. General, last man standing up on the high ground here for NaVi and gets a Ravage off on absolutely everybody. Denny stuns right away. Crystallize though, well, doesn't have the God Strength available just yet for another 10 seconds. So again, one of these Ravages where they can't immediately follow up with anything. Seneko will have to give up his life for the cause, or the rest of his team retreats. This lies. Oh, BKB TP. Alright. Can't quite cancel that one. That was still pretty good for NaVi though. They get another tier 3 tower. They force out 2 buybacks, one of them on the Chaos Knight. So if they kill him one more time, they should have an easy time going forward. They didn't lose any of the cores, they only lost the Mako. NaVi never really been that far ahead in terms of net worth. Neither team really has for long. The momentum just shifts time and time again. Even now, with the Ravage on cooldown, there is an opportunity for Team Spirit to make something happen down in the bottom lane. They also have the Phantasm. They also have ILTW turning into a decent right click here with the Mjolnir. Walk into them, aren't they? Blink Burst Strike, but hey, guess what? Link is here. Not the most common item of Sven, so can't be possible not expecting. They're still gonna take the fight. Crystallize. The Dual Scepter trying to lay him a little bit. They will take care of the Phantasm Illusions. But those won't help Team Spirit to win this fight now. The BKB on Denny as Ilden comes in again. He hexed, but searched away. Crystallize Blink forward on DKFO with Epicenter being completely wasted. NaVi, they're on the run, on the hunt. Forcing Team Spirit to be on the run. Fiverr. Well, I think he gives his life, but just baiting them. They're gonna bring down Shadow Shaman. Defensive Destruction coming through as Crystallize finally pops his own BKB. Ilden though, down a half health. Stand up on a Viper here. He needs to try and find some right clicks, but they're all so damn healthy still. Another Burrow Strike at both of these cores. Big folks coming in. Dendy, well, he'll eventually fall after Rick Pike. LTW, he's the one finally pulling his weight after this disastrous laning stage, and well, double kill for him. Now it is NaVi who get turned around on. These fights just back and forth like this entire game. Roger will be the triple kill for LTW. That'll be the end of that team fight. Ravage is available again. General.
Radiant's bottom tower
He doesn't have his Viper. They will have Sven with God Strength. They're really gonna have to pull it out if they want to save the racks. At the very least, Team Spirit cannot get Megas.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But
Radiant's bottom barracks
considering the way these last couple times went with the Blink Ravage without enough follow-up, I can't really blame him for not even going for that. You need your entire team at this point.
Dire's middle tower is under
It's so
attack.
odd to see the CK not doing well at all in terms of net worth, but his team still like keeping themselves in the game and
Radiant's
even
top
winning.
shrine is under attack.
At least for right now. We'll see whether that'll last. I wouldn't be too surprised if NaVi could turn this around somehow with Team Spirit being the one to overextend, but well, 2 racks up now. If they play this out properly, then should be fine. Also recover the gem here from Roger. Like they're using these tools that they have very well throughout the entire game, and the longer the game goes, you get more of these to work with here. Like the ult scepter from Biver, continue to help the kite around Crystallize. Whose BKB is done 6 seconds now. It's not a long time at all. 7 seconds on Viper. We'll start the round 2 issues. Especially if you put that in conjunction with all the mobility the teams would have between the blink daggers, the leaps, surges. I'm gonna try to forward blink burst strike onto the general. Okay, yeah, he just melts. The power of these DK illusions, if you have them, blink Yules here, force a Nako. And it's a very quick one, and he even gives them the extra walls to farm up. Which is a big question mark. Now Roshan awaiting him. It may respawn in 17 seconds. If it's a really quick one, then it will be very much in favor of Team Spirit. Buyback already used in general here. They need that threat of the Ravage to make Team Spirit think twice about continuing. We back off and wait for this Roshan. 50 seconds on the clock right now. Team Spirit, well, why don't you set up for that? Push down top lane. Ideally get some vision out there. They have this one on the right hand side of the Rush Pit. Kinda sees across, but not quite, so you want one either up here and up here, or one a little bit further down. It doesn't look like they have too many more wards though right now. Yeah, there's one more available here. Definitely bring that one out. And well, NaVi know that Roche has the potential sooner rather than later, so they're gonna have to try and contest this area. I don't think they're gonna win this game with Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard in hands of Team Spirit. ED Rune, well, Roger. Except reveal himself, he still has that vision advantage. Got himself another gem. So, well, unable to deny the DD, unfortunately, but well, at least it doesn't get called out. That would be disastrous indeed. Errol scared out the fact that Roshan is there for Team Spirit. Both teams on the same page there. They get rid of the vision of high ground. And good first strike, there we go. If they can kill General again, that would be big. Crystallize, forced to go in here, trying to go on FNG, but it's tank enough disruption here, and all of a sudden Crystallize standing between a couple of heroes. He'll still finish up the kill in the end. But number 4 slow comes to vacuum into Ravage though, turning things around. Epicenter in front, not really doing too much with Dendy, but Crystallize, well, he will pick out in the end to LTW. Shackles onto low ground. Illidan just gets up to the high ground here with the W. Brings down another one. 2 for 2 trade, still very much in favor of Team Spirit though. They did bring down the big heavy puncher. LTW though, well, if he dies, it could be a good turnaround, but Illidan DK Phobos taking over, screening for their friend. Now V then dies straight right now indeed. The gem will be recovered. So Roger now has 1 for each eye. Even forcing LTW all the way back. It's gotta be the name of the game now. NaVi, they're pretty good at that. Pretty good at slowing down these kind of games. Skipping creep waves here, making sure that you buy enough time as much time as possible for your cores to respawn naturally, because Sven, well, doesn't have buyback. Has enough money, but 2.5 minutes left on cooldown. Team Spirit couldn't immediately get anything off of that particular team fight. Still have a little bit of time left. Illidan working away at the Roshan himself. This is the big win condition for Team Spirit. General's there. Cancel the region immediately. Errol connects him and Roger on the outside. General does not have the Ravage for 60 seconds. Can't even contest this. Just have to try, don't they? FNG maintaining vision, just trying to be annoying with the Shadow Poison spam across the pit. NaVi, you see everything that's going on. Biver, well, so make a little dodge shot just barely. So they suits up BKB to make sure that there's no way to interrupt it. Dylan will secure Aegis and Cheese while the rest of the team finish off Roger by themselves. Sure, why not? He does have buyback. Might as well just leave him a buyback status at this point. And Well, vacuum trying to see him inside the trees. So Neko, well, the creeps actually find him. Drops on the wall to try and get rid of as many of these as he can, but I don't think it really actually might matter. It wasn't for his new creeper to come in, so because there's still tier 2 there, but backdoor region will not be a factor despite Neko's efforts. So now he's on the sidelines for 60 seconds. No buyback available for him. It's only Roger as well as then you have it. And he isn't quite level 25 yet, so those +1 to 20 damage is not available. I'm not sure if it would even matter, honestly. Other than if nothing else, he's pretty damn tanky. He also has Aegis in his inventory. Let's do a pressure shot actually. Darkseer, so double wall, double hex, double Shivas, double guarding resistance for the heal at the very least. Crystallize comes in. They have to do something right now, but force stuff up on Illidan gets himself up on the high ground. Still very much alive. Even if they kill him, it's gonna come right back. Hex coming through, no BKB for Crystallize. And Team Swift are just running them over. One by one. Force stuffing around, kiting him. Staying alive themselves, only losing F and G, Hurricane Pikes from LTW, couple Rex are like sleep forward. Generally, he's still pretty damn tanky, but they don't really care about him. The Ravage has not been enough this game. And this looks like Team Spirit will run away with game number 1 here, and they're gonna get Danny for good measure. Trying to do what he can, trying to keep his team alive, buying back. They're not giving up just yet. Not a buyback, just ticking in here for Crystallize, so have that, but don't have God Strength even. Can get another kill onto Bible. Rex is still standing actually, so as long as there's Rex, there's hope. Especially with Sven on the team, you can deal with super creeps, mega creeps technically as well. But you're never really going to push out with just Sven able to deal with it. This is why Viper was already starting to build instruments for himself. Now he hit level 25. He's had to make the talent decision. Silence's game could be quite useful, honestly. TK4 was, despite having queued up early, he never actually went for the BKB. LTW also doesn't want to build it himself, and well, DK has it. Was gonna precast the Phantasm anyway, and well, is what it is. But yeah, just time to Darkseer or something if he comes in, preventing the vacuum wall could be a thing. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. But I don't need that extra damage output. He went for it anyway. It's really good utility. It's more of an issue of making sure to actually have the time to right click. And have the range to right click on even him. Even on Dandy, but most on Crystallize. NaVi, not out of it just yet. Holding on by a thread, but now the goal is bigger than ever. 18k for Team Spirit, closing in on the 20k mark. No more buybacks. Generals will take back in. 20 seconds on the clock there. So it will be available by the time next team fight breaks out. So Nichols maybe if he somehow finds enough money, but I doubt it. Team Spirit has most of theirs. Shadow Demon. 2 books, almost level 25 himself. And that could be interesting. I do think you go for the demonic purge damage here, especially with the charges. That's 400 damage. With plus 500 makes 900 times 3? Yeah, that's a lot. Crystallize is dodge that with he has a spell immunity, but the damage does not, so I think you can still dodge the damage. But Crystallize is a very limited window with his BKB, down 5 seconds for a long time, so if you just wait that out, you can just triple purge him, and he's gonna be down to very low health indeed. If they need that, you can just straight up kill Shadow Shaman with 2 of those. Glimmer Cape might throw off the math there a little bit as well. It is the death push. Team Spirit coming in. Illidan has the cheese in his inventory. The pressure shot has been used in this death fight, but they're gonna go straight in general with the instant Ravage. Crystallize with a follow-up. Alright, that's a good start. Taking down Biver. Now looking for more. Vacuum in, trying to control them. Team Spirit trying to walk away. A little bit of time here to kite out the rest of NaVi. Also connect. Now maybe they can go back in. Maybe even find Roger. He's just used his flying ability. Can't quite go over the ridge line. But they are respecting NaVi now, despite the Ravager missing. Despite the Godstrength timing out. It was a death push, but turns out the only death was Spiber. So they're gonna stop it in its tracks. NaVi still in the game. Still gonna take like a lot more of these kind of pickoffs and team fights to make it work for them. Actually, maybe just two. Maybe just two team fights. Like one to win, like decisively get a couple of these core kills. Core kills, so the arrow just lands on the Sven. Glimmer Cape can stay for the time being. Team Spirit wants to commit here. Doesn't look like it. Would seem like a throw play. If you just go in completely. Roger keeps the taps on everybody now. Gonna initiate here with the banishment on Snako, but BKB and Older, and they see Roger in the back. They're trying to bring him down first, and they will crystallize. Double stun though with the shackles also, keeping LTWs there. It's gonna be the first core to fall. Stanton Darkseer cannot search himself out of there at all, even if it wasn't off cooldown. Slowed down the shackles to creep. It's not gonna be helpful. Crystallize though, blinking in from another stun. Godstrength still going. It'll be the secondary kill. Alright. That works. Two very important heroes for Team Spirit on the sidelines. Now, you have to push across the river. Have to push all the way to the base, force out these fireworks, win another team fight. And then, maybe just then, you can get another set of racks, maybe even mega creeps. It is a tall order though, because you have two lanes pushing in constantly here with these super creeps. Crystallize, force the TP back, and or even walk back and get rid of that. Push out the middle lane. You have to spend so much time, they can't commit to top. Still 3 heroes alive, so the moment they split up, they're dead. Spirit, the other kill instinct if they realize that. Okay, that's a link to your pots. Everything coming through, it's BKB, Crystallize, matches that. There's a lot of illusions, so you can't fight it up against that many. With General though, BKB ended on both these heroes, so shackled until then, but defense disruption. Alright, that'll work. FNG doing quite a bit in the backlines. They will get rid of some Snako in exchange. Illidan, Crystallize on the run. Dendy coming back in. Accidental slow available from this Metal Strike. Blink forward, Crystallize. They want more. They want this Chaos Knight. And the very well might get him. There it is. He also has buyback. By LTW, able to hold on to his. He might very well have to use it because now NaVi is in a position where they have the lanes in a decent position. At least mid and top, bottom lane is a bit of a different story. That will claim tier 4 tower. We'll claim the racks here if it's not responded to. Not the racks, the second tier 4, even the ancient. Hide Hunter, oh god. He's dead. That's a refresher, so he can buy back. And by the time Team Spirit get across, you will have double Ravage. It can be crystallized here, would be a big one. Double force off of FNG. Does not have any demonic purge charges left in BKB, TB. Nothing I can cancel that anyway. Alright, so NaVi get back. Didn't quite find the opening. Lost an objective here and so tier 4 tower also 95 health points. That'll not regenerate at all. Team Spirit a little bit too resilient here with the advantage of having these two racks pushing in. Now, no Chaos Knight on one side, no Tide Hunter together. He can buy back, TP in for Link double Ravage. That is a threat here, so Team Spirit have to be extremely careful about how they approach this. Keeping drastically 4-staffed in, 4-stars back out. He is broken. The corrosive skin is not an issue right now, but last for a while they do bring him to safety. But they have to take care of these creeps. Look at the catapults. There it is, that's the buyback. That should mean, yeah, Team Spirit backing up immediately. Just whittling away, slowly but surely. They do not want to throw this game. NaVi is a team that Don't want to take your chances with like that. Just going in 0-1 in the best of 3 series. Especially with this much at stake. Galaxy Battles. The first major of the new year, 2018, in Philippines Arena in Manila. You want to be able to punch your ticket and at the very least make it to the finals of these qualifiers to have a chance at the wild card. Like if you look at the items, you look at Roger, like 1-11-11. It's not exactly the kind of scoreline that you expect out of a successful Night Stalker. But he's had his uses, even just with the Agnum Scepter and Gem. This vision has been so freaking crucial. And Snako, well, he's had Glimmer Cave and Ether Lens for this entire game, it feels like. Yeah, it is daytime, so don't have that extra night vision. Wrapping around here with the Moonlight Shadow and the Night Fight General here. Second double Ravage is available here if you want to, but Mino in front, back to one absolute everyone else. There's a Ravage 1. A Ravage 2 even at the same time, but it felt like nothing. They lost General, they lost Crystallize. It's gonna come right back, but he'll use God Strength here before that. We'll find FNG somewhere down here. Dendi finishing him off. At what cost? Hilden's still very much alive, Dendi not so much. Forced to buy back again. Crystallize, he doesn't have his big punching power. Without the God Strength, you're severely lacking in damage. And that's a Sniper Illusion from the wall, still chipping away at the melee racks. Team Spirit is still very timid. They don't want to overcommit here to these racks. Just wanted to force these buybacks. That's what they got. Only lost FNG. Gold advantage now, 22k, and guess what? That's not Roshan up. Aegis, Cheese, and another Refresher Shard. So double Vacuum Wall. Maybe even double Phantasm, wouldn't hate that either. Spam Illusions. Very strong illusions at that. Spam them down and just right click away at the range tracks. Even with the Sven having the area stun and the big cleave. Might not actually be worthwhile. Anyway, this is something that NaVi cannot contest without the Ravages.
I'll take your trip.
Right. Once he respawns, he'll have the first one back. The second one will follow another half minute. Can they hold out that long is the question. Team Spirit. This extra advantage in hand. Can just afford to go a little bit YOLO. Just commit. Try and burst down the Sven here with no out for losses. And if he's down, or if Dendy's down even, I'm not even sure if Crystallize is a bigger kill here. If they die one more time, then that'll be it. It has to be it eventually, right? So far, NaVi proven to be extremely resilient, but this game, I think it requires a miracle at this point. Or perhaps Team Spirit just going AFK for a couple of minutes. They can't quite just select a hero, press A and click on the bottom left hand corner of the map. We're not quite there just yet. But NaVi, the Monument is asking. Well, they're taking the initiative. Blink Ravage, double Ravage going through. FNG dies immediately. Illidan pops the BKB. SG's in his backpack right now, so he has to force the TP out. ILTW dropping super low himself. He does have the Aegis. Trying to trade here, trying to bring down Dendi. He's left alone, and well, 4-5 heroes around him. He should be able to control up immediately. Piper come back in. There it is. They still get ILTW. They still have that power with the BKB. Crystallize is holding on to it until the perfect moment. And now all of a sudden, Team Spirit losing more and more heroes. DK4 was him and Piper trying to get back in, trying to use that Aegis on a Mirana. And there's one crucial kill on Dendi at the very least. But this is why they're still sticking around in this game.
Radiant's Ancient is
This is why they have this new wind under the sails here, just gaining more momentum in the season as this NaVi lineup. This determination to not give up. This is what you need. Especially in this kind of a game. Just trust in your ability to take the late game team fights, to take the late games in general, to play it out the way you have to. There's always a way to win. Especially in late game Dota, especially if Illidan just sticking around a little bit too far forward. Gets nullified here, Roger, able to get this extra item. Crystal a little bit far away to actually follow up, but
top barracks are under attack.
statement of intent. As long as it's just a CK, NaVi will be just fine pushing down this lane, forcing on a few buybacks. There's one. 30 seconds on the other two.
Radiant's Ancient is
Point
under
to
attack.
probably just be happy giving up that that building. Poison Tech Effects building is also telling that he did go for rather than the Viper Strike DPS. That was the first time he actually made use of it. Siege cubes though. Remain the bane of their existence. But yeah, that's Lake in Dota for you. It was a 22k lead for Team Spirit at one point, now back to 13k. Like almost a 10k swing here on the back of the team fight, and there's no reason why NaVi would not be able to find a similar kind of team fights. I mean, that was a fight where Team Spirit had AGSGs and Refresher Shot, and they just lost it that decisively. At some point it doesn't matter how the game went, it just matters that where you are right now, which is, well, we have all the tools. We have Double Ravage again available for General. And well, if everyone has the core items, if everyone has the tools that they need, then it's just a matter of using it properly. And making sure that you actually get kills with them. Or just commit for the throne, but that's the thing. Team Spirit, well, so you got a question, maybe they've been a little bit too timid earlier. Maybe there was a timing window that they missed. But it's very hard to make that judgment call, even for me, because I'm a scrub. But especially if you're in the game as well, you don't have all the information that I have even. So if I have a hard time calling it, well, they do as well. Shadow Demon will die. Actually a bit of an issue. FNG 100 seconds on the sidelines. No buyback for him. Missing the gold. And BKBTB, just make sure. Into the other lane. Oh no, it was RTW pushing this. Alright, doesn't force a reaction, so NaVi can't get anything else off of that. Unless he somehow bailed down RTW, but yeah, he's backing off towards the rest of the team. Next Roshan, what's the start on that? 2.40 seconds. No, wait, that doesn't make sense. It's 40 seconds. Alright, there you go. Only get a couple of hours sleep after casting for 8 days in a row. And this game is setting in to just towards the 65-minute mark. And I don't have a cold caster, so I do excuse these small little lapses from me, please. 2.4k gold on the Sanking. Wonder what he wants to go for. He only has that Agnum Scepter. Any other items that we missed, actually? I guess Halberd and DK4 was like, he's completely stacked. LTW with MKB, so all these butterflies. Actually, that should be spaced out. Okay, that is Ravage coming through. General showing up, double Ravage available. Bring down one, buyback immediately, and now a bit of a turnaround. Vacuum into the wall. Good start now. Phantasm. 4 seconds on to Tide Hunter. It's not exactly the most important target. Only use Ravage and stand there. His TP will be cancelled though. Him and Crystallize still sticking around to space, ripe for the taking. They'll bring down Sven. They'll bring down Dandy. Triple kill for DK Forwards. That's the wall for you. And also extra initial damage. Pretty damn solid. Cost them a buyback to Illidan, but Dandy and Crystallize, both of them down. Both of them will have buyback taking it. That's the only reason that NaVi go for this kind of buy into the dire side base. Didn't quite expect it. They went for it anyway. 2 buybacks used already. Dandies will be available in a couple of seconds in case they're needed. But Team Spirit, well, I don't know if they just say, well, enough is enough, just freaking go. But Dandy buying back. Just putting it on cooldown, I guess at this point is better than just holding on to it for as long as you can. So now only General has it. Single Ravage available in 35 seconds.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Secondary Ravage, another 30 seconds after that. Can they make this work now? He's coming through general. They're coming on him here, so he's tanking that pressure. The release crystallized, double stun. Starting in here onto LTW. 1 leap, 2 leaps up the high ground. Nullifier to Chaos Knights. He's actually in a little bit of trouble. That's so fast, but then the cheese eaten. We'll make sure he survives. Danny, not so much. That's a dieback for him. And now the Solana to crystallize. P4's here too. Then it's all over finally here for Team Spirit. They lost LTW. Bites back immediately. Ready to boot off travel right in the middle of that. Onto Ilden though, who just dies before that general. Had the refresher tick in, so LTW has to make the long walk. Somehow NaVi holding on. That was the wrong target to TP to. Like, let's be real here. That was a misplay, but regardless, 100 seconds on the sidelines for 3 of NaVi's heroes. They were never gonna win that as soon as ILTW got back across. So GG is called regardless. Team Spirit win game number 1 here in this best of 3 series in Galaxy Battles EU qualifiers.